Yes, welcome to another episode of the Last of the Reels podcast, Jamaica's #1 podcast. And tonight we have some special guests returning, Shen and Lottie, but also Shanine. And you know me and the man them there. Who's here, my friends?
Hey, my love, you know, say straight and plain at time. I say, you see it? I get some vibrance and colors, them, man. White shirt.
You talk too much with the shirt, man.
Must we go through this every week?
Yes, man, car. You have to see the improvement, man. White plain shirt, you got to color and vibrance now, you see it? So you know a big one right there.
Yeah, straight jeans right there.
And of course, everyone's favorite host, JRP.
And you know, we're going to be kicking it off in our usual fashion. 10, or the crazy 10 how we're calling it right now. And the first 10, the first one making the headline. It's a sad story. I don't know how I feel about this. But Jah Cure gets 6 years in prison.
Oh, it could be a sad story.
Exactly. He never learned.
The man said, nah, go jail again, brother.
The man make Ripley's Believe It or Not. At the first Jamaican me know spend time local prison and then go overseas the next time. Like the man upon a tour.
Coming
but
to
this
a prison
is the thing
near
with
you.
him, you know. Speaking from encounters with him, he doesn't learn because him come a royalton with him same dirty behavior and carry on, and I'm sure him have a property.
No, but we also have to understand that if a person keeps doing the same thing over and over with no change, then it's a sign of mental illness. So I am not going to blatantly say he's doing the same things over and over deliberately, but maybe we need to think about, does he need psychiatric evaluation? Does he need help? And sometimes mental illness isn't just about being crazy. It's about how we handle the stresses that we deal with on a day-to-day. So what is really happening with Jah Cure?
Is it stress or arrogance, though?
I don't know. And maybe he needs some...
mixture.
Whatever it is, he needs some form of intervention to assist him where that is concerned.
Right now, we'll probably get a next hit song behind this prison wall part 2.
Behind these foreign prison walls.
Well, after them just labeled Jah Cure mentally challenged. Moving into number 2, I want to hear what this label is going to be.
7.
L.A. Lewis. 7 was escorted from the main event in Trenchtown.
No, he needs psychiatric evaluation.
You know, Brian, in fairness, L.A. Lewis never did no wrong, you know.
No,
Exactly.
for real. L.A. Lewis was in the right. I support
In
him
defense,
for that one.
Brian, in defense of L.A. Lewis, we need to pay respect to the greatest marketing man in Jamaican history.
I was just going to say that, Rayon. He is. What is L.A. Lewis? L.A. Lewis he's not a musician. He's not a comedian. What is he? But he is one of the most well-known Jamaicans. Anywhere you go, it doesn't matter the community, there is a wall with L.A. Lewis on it.
Right. And to touch on that, you know,
The man is
to
a
touch on
maroon.
that you just said, I want to look a country girl from Westmoreland. And I remember when I used to come to Kingston, when I was just applying for universities, and I would come to Kingston, I would see the walls, oh, we love L.A. Lewis, and I would wonder, who is this L.A. Lewis? To know that it is a man actually go around and put on all these things on the wall.
And
Have you seen him? Have you seen him do it?
Him say it wasn't him.
I know him.
Exactly.
But to add to that quickly, if you are doing marketing, your engagement shows the level of work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you put out, right? And everything that has to do with L.A. Lewis, if you see the level of engagement in terms of comments, viewers, you know that this man knows what he's doing. He's calculated. So you better call him idiot. You are idiot. If you call him idiot, I would say.
We're going to jump on number 3 and make the idiot them go and call Mr. Lewis idiot. Guys, 7-star general is filing an assault claim against Basby Grange.
Should be interesting.
You know, yeah, man. You know, the self-star 7 general. Miss Grange has 24 hours to issue an apology to him.
You know, honestly, I think corporate Jamaica should get behind L.A. Lewis and give him a reality series. I mean, I could spend time watching that series, you know.
He needs to be a brand ambassador for somewhere.
Bellevue.
Well, I'm making it official.
Maybe a paid company, one of those paid companies could take him on as a brand ambassador because he's clearly using spray paint and all these things.
Well, I'm making it official. I am reaching out to the 7-star general, the boss himself. Right? You can be a brand ambassador for the Last of the Real podcast anytime you want. The door is open and you are welcome to come voice your opinion on the disrespect you receive on the podcast.
It would be nice to have an interview with him on the podcast though regarding this whole situation.
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah.
Jermaine, the email, Jermaine. Formally the email.
Yes, sir, I will.
Send it out to the general.
That would probably be a 4-hour interview, but we can make it work.
But, moving away from Mr. Lewis and, the prison board, number 4 kind of sad still because, it's broken hearts and, boy. Only child is murdered days before parents' wedding.
And to be murdered by a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Take phone and $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
But what hurt me?
51-year-old, not 16.
I mean, I hear there's a 16-year-old in custody.
It's a 16-year-old involved.
No, Kenut is 16.
Yeah, Kenut is 16.
So is it?
Kenut is 15.
There was a
16-year-old who did the actual shooting, according to the news.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Because what hurt me when I read the gentleman who assisted him to the hospital, in his interview he said that he passed the person lying on the sidewalk, and when he checked his rearview mirror, the passenger seat said to him something is wrong, and they turned back. And he said he asked him, if he fainted or something of the sort, and he said no. And when he turned him over, he said the hole. So I pick him up, put him in the van, rush him to UE, and he said he offered them $10,000 to take care of him. And then the nurse pulled him aside and said he's already dead.
Wow.
Can you imagine how many persons drove past him
by? Exactly.
Yeah, man. There was no good Samaritans.
Wow.
But, we're not going to make that one get we down, because we're going to move to number 5 and lift up the spirits them and hold on for a laugh. As dog is left at animal shelter because owners thought he was gay.
What?
But guess what? Yeah. The dog was adopted by a gay couple.
Yeah.
He's now adopted by a gay couple, living his best life.
That's one colorful household.
How can a dog be gay?
No, that is it. Exactly.
He was humping another male dog.
But that's the thing. Dogs hump other dogs, not just for sex, but for dominance. They hump inanimate. Yeah, people, inanimate objects.
So why have someone that call a next man dog? You know when a man call me dog then?
Exactly. A dog. Listen, when a man or a woman call somebody dog, are the most disrespectful thing ever. Because a dog doesn't do anything. Cool. Why? But now I have to laugh when I see it still enough.
Well, the good thing about it, the dog at home now.
What do you mean? The dog up like 7.
Maybe he'll go to Canada someday.
He's in America.
He's in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The dog have American visa, man.
Having green card, in good.
Then dog get good,
citizenship.
Oh. Then dog get global. But number 6, I take it back locally. Flash Motors, Jamaica's first electric vehicle company, has formally been launched.
I need to know if they're going to go on the stock market, because I'm going to invest.
And please let me know when they do, so I can put some money over there too.
We can see that we're moving in the right direction.
The world is going.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Good to see that we're going electrical as well.
Repeat that.
Definitely.
No, I'm saying good to see that Jamaica is moving forward.
It's a good investment, I think, because even with the wind farm in St. Elizabeth, I remember ignoring that stuff and me kiss my teeth. That That not go anywhere. And
Look at
all
it
my
now.
friends,
Bingo.
my friends who bought into it, they're dripping. I'm like, damn.
Yo, I could not even start. Well, I could not even start talk about the stock market here because Dogecoin still hurt my feelings. So we have a look on 7. Koffee finally drops her debut album, Gifted. Yeah.
That girl
Just like Bob Marley, and Miss Lou, I'm not a fan of Koffee or Koffee.
Ryan, hey, listen, the man says he's not a fan of Koffee. He's not a fan of Bob Marley, and he's not a fan of Miss Lou.
Why? Why?
You are a European.
I am not.
No, man. I think that explanation requires a different podcast, Ryan, because I consider Miss Lou and Bob Marley to be solid icons. So
exactly.
We will need to have another conversation where that is concerned.
Because every time I use a Miss Lou quote here, the man get upset. Like when Miss Lou deal.
Ryan, you know what? Listen, we're going to go for number 8, you know. Because even though Koffee dropped her album, Billboard creates a US chart for Afrobeat songs after ditching the reggae song chart.
And I look good to dance.
This is very insulting.
And I look good.
It is somewhat insulting, but if we should look at it, what can we really say has come out of dancehall lately that we can be extremely proud of?
But on a Billboard.
Listen,
we have not produced anything that deserves to be on a Billboard.
I am tired of hearing people saying that them can't find
good music. Go on,
for me, I love Afrobeats. I have to interject there, but dancehall has not produced anything over. All I hear is gun this, gun that. You know, kill your mother, kill your father, Yahoo boys, whatever, scamming. When you tap into the Afrobeat, you can dance. It gives you a vibe. There's an energy there.
All right.
You know, we talk about Whiskey, the Thames, Burna Boy. You know, the list goes on.
Make Pinto reply to that because Pinto, you were saying a very important point.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, my brother.
Yes, I'm tired of some of these so-called Jamaicans. Not you, Lati. Many bandwagonists, yes, I jump and say there's no good music coming out of Jamaica. That's total bullshit. Good music is there. And you see, for the people who are complaining about good music, how many of them supporting music, Jamaican music? How many of them streaming music? How many of them buying music?
True. Because we had the Renegade solo EP in German was a really good EP, you know. Right? Devin the Doctor out there make good music. Gage make good music. Ben, are you next one on the podcast?
I think it's easy if you say there's not they can't find good music rather than just go and listen to good music. Good music they know.
Elijah make good music too,
exactly. Elijah make good music.
But it's the marketing behind them.
The marketing strategy for these good music because it's management is not here because
the type of music that are now marketed to the international scale, they are not of quality.
Exactly.
The ones that are pushed on the international market, they are not of quality. And
And with that, now Shenseea and Pinto, I agree with what I say, and it brings me to number 9 on the list. Because like Foota I've said, and Shenseea's Alpha, the first week's performance was embarrassing. And you see how much marketing went behind that?
Well,
that wasn't
hers being hyped?
Well,
yeah, man.
Put up a see what people business more.
I have to snap talk. I don't like Foota, but I have to agree with him. I prefer Spice over Shenseea. Reason being is that Spice works hard. I mean, not like her behavior. More lyrical. Spice works extremely hard. Without a team behind Shenseea, would you think that Shenseea would have done?
No, she would. And I think Spice, as I said, Spice doesn't have the marketing machine that Shenseea has.
You understand?
Okay, so don't play Shenseea, so.
I'm not downplaying her, but it's the truth. Maybe I'm not. I don't listen to. No. Me
not agree with that. I not agree with that work hard thing there because Shenseea must put in work for each other.
Listen, Spice, she work hard, but listen, me have to give it to Spice because Spice don't have a team behind her. She's producing.
Who is speaking right now? Spice doesn't have a team because Spice doesn't play well with others. I don't think Spice made the decision to say I don't want a team because of how vulgar and controversial Spice can be. A lot of persons will not be open to working with her. Look at the relationship with her and her dancers. They are together for a couple of months and then it's a big brawl in the media, and it happened more than once, more than twice. She cannot really stay around persons for very long. If I have to choose between, but I really hope I never be placed in a position where I have to choose because I'm not really crazy.
I'm not looking at her vulgarity, but because at the end of the day, when you express yourself, people are going to say you're vulgar. So I'm not for that.
Her music, Spice is vulgar. Yes, I saw me like her. No,
I mean nothing. Jamaicans.
Jamaicans, yes.
Even though we are Jamaicans, it's still vulgar.
I think they're both talented ladies to be.
But that's dancehall. That's raw dancehall.
They're both talented ladies. And I don't want to downplay one for the other because in reality, dancehall is not selling.
Exactly.
It's not like Spice did any better than Shenseea as well.
Exactly. And we're not going to try. We're not going to pit the two of them against each other.
Yeah.
So
I think there's some real women. Hold on. I think there are some real women in the music industry who, if they should get the marketing that both ladies have, and if they should get the support, then we will get really good music out of them. Looking at somebody like a Leela, like a Savannah. Looking at those women who they produce really good music, and it's not just chewing up a song on a rhythm. They can sing.
Yeah, man, them can sing. Them can talent.
They know what they're about.
I mean, in fairness,
but isn't that reggae and not dancehall?
That's what. But they can do both. If you listen to a Leela can do both.
In fairness, not Spice. I don't know if anyone listened to Spice album, but it was really good,
But then still, after the man them and all the football fans them out there, might be Premier League referee is set to retire at the end of the season.
And Arsenal fans are rejoicing.
What? I celebrate when I see this, but guess what? He's going to now be a VAR official.
He's not retired then, man.
I'm going to retire from Anfield. But
Anfield, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to work on this year. I mean...
So when when Saka scored a goal, and I said offside. Right, onside, I can see the
line them.
The line them kind of squiggle, not go straight.
They might go use a protractor instead of a ruler,
You see it.
Might be in. You all know. Retire, man, and give Arsenal a break, man. Even the Manchester United fans know that. But, right there, so we're going to cut the 10. Big up to the 7 boss again. We are extend. Anytime you feel like to come on.
Yes, the man I invite the 7-star general.
How you mean? Because right about now still, we want to cook up some soup. Because...
A soup you go again, we not have to drink soup now.
No, soup was gas. Soup good for your system. Soup make you grow.
Yeah, I want to steal peas.
Alright. I'm going to take the carrot them out.
Moving on, tie yourself. Yeah. Especially the ladies are here. Because we definitely want to know their opinion, We're looking at warning signs in a relationship. Right? And how do you spot them? And how do you deal with them?
I mean red flag, Mr. Mediator.
Red flag warning signs, we call them by different names, but are the same thing. One, no, ladies, if you're in a relationship, and it go sideways or go south, how do you spot the red flags?
I think you have to come out of the Yamed syndrome and be observant.
The Yamed syndrome.
So strong.
Yes, man.
Yo, I love that one there. The Yamed syndrome.
Yes, man. Because if you're stuck in the Yamed syndrome, you're not going to see the red flag. That is basically it.
But what are some of the red flags that we see in a relationship?
And you're speaking on you're speaking on the female side now.
Are the female them want to know about, man? What are some of the red flags that you've seen in relationships, or you hear about your friend them talk about in a relationship? What are some of the red flags that females see in them partner or them?
But before, Brian, the thing about red flags though, it's unique to an individual. So we can say generally what do we see, but it comes down to the person's personal preference, what they like in a relationship, how they like to be treated. You get what I'm saying? So I believe
that. Let me ask you a question since you bring up that. If it's a personal preference now, is it a red flag, right? Or just you being picky, and as not picky in a bad way, but picky in terms of what you want?
I think
because go on.
Man, I think there are some general red flags that it's not about personal. It goes right across, and one of them
across the board.
One of them for me, one red flag is lack of communication, or the person is not being open. You cannot fully have a conversation with that person, and that for me is definitely a red flag in a relationship. We're trying to talk about something, and for some persons we tend to shy away from a conversation when it's either we're being put on the spot, or we shy away from the conversation because maybe it's just not something we're interested in. But I think when you're in a relationship, and you realize that, look, I cannot talk to this person. We cannot have a conversation. I have to go call my church brother down the road and talk to him, and him understand. Look here, red flag, problem.
Yeah.
So that's communication then.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the next one will be hygiene.
Hygiene.
I mean, that's a red flag in any
because
situation.
Because you know me already, Jeremy. When it comes to that as a male, I'm big on that. You understand?
Yes.
I speak highly of the fact that when I get ready a morning time, I take long as a man.
30 minutes.
Especially even when it comes to even brushing my teeth. I take long for it because me now left until my tongue pink. You understand? It's a blessing that I can talk into people's faces for a lengthy periods of time for the day.
But why would you want to talk in someone's face?
Why?
I'm just saying.
No, but Ryan, I agree with you. Hygiene is important, but sometimes when we're going into a relationship, we have to go in with an open mind and understand that persons are coming from different backgrounds, different upbringings, and what we might value. What we might value, they may not value, but it doesn't mean that you might not be able to create an impact on the person. Maybe you can say, babe, Britney's a fresh.
Shani?
Yeah, but that's a situation we could have talked to them in a rain.
I've seen some beautiful. When I'm man. Let me just say this quick. I've seen some beautiful women that have bad breath, and every time I see them, never see them pretty again. I'm just say the bad breath.
Yeah, but
like there's nothing after that. Can I look on them positively if me even want to talk to them or date them? No.
And in that saying, we have a direct, Shani into the episode about hygiene, because this is where we went in depth about how you actually talk to your partner. Say, hey, your breath stink, or the hygiene up there, because it's a very touchy subject, While it's a red flag for Ryan, it's a touchy subject of how to actually tell the person you're going out with or in a relationship that they have a hygiene problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when we want to look one, so when we want to look one, because we did talk about that on a previous episode, when we want to look one still are some of the common red flags in a relationship and how we start spot them. Right? So the first one is the over-controlling behavior. How we know when the person again over-controlling.
Them people are too mad, man.
The over-controlling one?
Yeah, man. She look like she have experience with it. Take us away there.
No, it's not me with the experience. It's something that I've experienced through somebody else, like maybe less than 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said, I just looked at her and I said, but my dear, you sung us all of the red flags and where they think is a carnival. Because
Wave your flag. Wave your flag.
Let me hear it.
nobody's gonna know who she is, so I'm gonna just share what her experience was.
Yes,
So she met this guy. The guy's a Jamaican, but he lives in the States since he was 11. So he met him on Facebook dating. I didn't even know there was such a thing. They met on
Red flag already.
Facebook dating. Yep. Well, they met on Facebook dating and they started going out. It seems as if they met about maybe November. December they were dating, and January she moved him into her apartment.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That was cool.
So in my mind, I was like, it wasn't my place because, I'm just staying with these people. I'm not related to these people. I'm just staying with them. I was like, so you're moving the dude already. That's just what I was thinking to myself. She was there and everything, putting her best foot forward. Just I get on her foot, I come out of a hell of a messy situation, almost being homeless. So, this girl went through a lot. I think for her, maybe she just wanted, companionship and some reassurance or something. And she was going all out, making sure that the guy was comfortable in terms of food in the house. What me tell her said, girl pantry stuck, our house stuck. And it was in the morning, she called. I came Friday, maybe about 2 weeks before I came. She called like she literally screamed. But when you scream like in tears, she was screaming. And for example, let me use the name John. Like she say, John put him hand for me. John put him hand for me. Everybody like, calm down, what happened? She said that they were lying in bed. It's the morning. They had some disagreement the night before. He wanted to have sex. She didn't. And the man literally grabbed her in her neck, stuffed her head down in the pillow after deciding, I go have sex with her because that's what I want. And tell her, don't you ever fucking try that again. You guys can please filter that out, but I'm just saying what he said. Like he was saying,
that sound like a
he
rape.
physically telling her, don't refuse me or anything. And it turned out in a one big brawl. So I'm saying, you don't take your time to get to know this man. This man is crazy, but the red flags that she should have seen. You're 34 years old. You have 2 kids. You are in America. You work the bare minimum job. You get me? And you live in your aunt's basement.
Damn.
Wait, you're not
There's a line issue there. Based on what you just said.
Let me run upon that real quick. You see, being in America, all of what you just described, apart from the sexual assault, is common. So it wouldn't even be a red flag because,
the norm.
Unfortunately, it's exactly. Now, what you just described, pass over controlling and goes on to abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that is definitely one red flag where we're not even going to touch. But the over controlling one, go on, Ryan.
Because based on what Shen just shared, a lot of things she outlined kind of tells me why she looked beyond the red flag. Maybe I'm judging, but having 2 kids and being in that financial situation that she's in probably makes a sense of...
And the man in that realm.
No, the guy has
the guy have 2 kids.
Yeah,
I have 2 kids. Okay.
She's just a single mom.
Read the book and not read it right.
And I read Lord of the Rings. And
tell you, don't.
And him live in a basement. I mean, like...
I think...
wow.
I think if you're in a relationship and it becomes overbearing and the person becomes controlling, where they have to know where you are, why you're there, when you're there, who you're there with.
Yes.
You can no longer hang out with your friends. They need to know everything you're doing on your phone.
And don't forget the search your phone thing.
Yes.
And so all of those things, they have become overbearing. Like they are now controlling your every movement.
Yes.
You have to know can you imagine a grown man like me if I ask somebody to go somewhere and do something that somebody they mad?
But no, this is the thing. I'll tell you a prime example of when it's over controlling. When you go, okay, you following all the rules that they set out, and you say, hey, I'm going to the store real quick.
Rules?
Yeah, rules. I could just say rules.
Mm-hmm.
You follow everything that they set out, and you say, hey, I'm going to the store real quick. Half an hour pass, you get through the store and your phone start ringing and
voice messages.
Exactly. That right there is over controlling.
And then some people, you see, sometimes I think what the issue is though, when we're first dating someone, it is very easy to confuse that over controllingness with nice, protective. What over you call it 10 times video if you see your location and you say, boy, I'm just
you're absolutely right, because you know what she said? She said that he did all of those things, and in her mind, he was just, being
protective.
But she didn't think of or realize what was happening. But I said to her, one big red flag you should have picked up. You picked up this man, and you guys had an agreement because he's working. It's not like he's not working. You guys had an agreement that you discussed finances before, and from the moment he moved in, you pay rent, pay bills, pay everything. And she has a child as a single mom. But I said, what was the biggest red flag that you should have picked up on was when you asked the man, bearing in mind this man has never contributed groceries, to go to the supermarket and purchase some turkey neck. And the man is going to give you an attitude. You plan to cook that today because you're coming from work, a 12-hour shift.
No, listen,
and he works 4 times per week with 3 days off. His response was, you plan to cook that today? She said, yes, why not? I don't feel for it today and I won't feel for it tomorrow. I feel for chicken. I'm like...
Yeah, then the man just don't want a turkey. The man just don't eat turkey.
Well, I think all of this goes back to my first point. In order to spot the red flags, you have to come out of the Yamid syndrome.
Yamid syndrome, that's so funny.
True. But it moved me on to my next red flag. Because the over-controlling behavior stems from lack of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And all of this, the way in behave and all of this towards your friend could directly be stemming from lack of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trust issues.
And it goes not only trust, but it goes to from them not fully healing from past relationships, because sometimes
that brings me to my next point. Self-esteem.
Ready for thought now?
No, sometimes sometimes people have been burnt in past relationships, and because your ex did this, it doesn't simply mean that the person you're with now is going to do that. So we don't heal and clear up those traumas, and we bring those traumas into relationships and impress them upon others that you are with. So become this overprotective, very controlling somebody.
And Shanine, to add to that, because it's something I'm big on advocating for persons to get healing before entering any relationships, because a lot of us, go through the past traumas and you push it on the new partner, and it causes a toxic situation. You get what I'm saying? Even marriages, a lot of marriages are destroyed because they have not dealt with their issues. So they go in there with the jealousy, the lack of trust, the bitterness and the callousness in their hearts. You understand?
And the comparison is a big red flag. So if every time you're talking about somebody saying, well, so-and-so used to do this and so-and-so used to do that and so-and-so, no, but I would. No, but yeah, you need to deal with that trauma there. If a counseling need, be conscious about that, and don't make pride cause if you say, someone stay or no, I'm not do this, I'm not fix this.
You see, there's something I want to touch on, I want to touch on the comparison thing, right? And the comparison brings me to my next point, the physical, emotional, and mental abuse. Shen, your story touched on the physical side, but Ryan, want to say a while ago, that consistent comparison, that's emotional and mental abuse.
Because when it comes to trauma, generally, every time a situation causes you to look back on past issues, you know it's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
You understand? And when your past issues are causing you not to move forward, something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to sort it out. A lot of us need, as I said, I always talk about pride. So I like to share scripture sometimes. Not all the time, because I'm a preacher. Pride goes before destruction and heart is spirit before a fall. Too often we make pride and we don't want to be looked up in a particular way. If you need counseling, it is, I believe it is a person's strength to can say, yes, I have an issue, I want to fix it. You see me I say? But we're so cultured for you know, I don't want nobody pre me a certain way I calling that my mother. My man, sit down, man.
And when we say culture,
when
we say culture, we don't just mean Jamaican, we mean black people and a whole.
Yes.
Because counseling and black people are the two opposite. We walk far from each other.
Don't go on in on.
Yeah, not at all.
Hi, may I
not
speak?
a pleasant marriage.
Sure,
yeah,
Lati. Yeah, hold up your hand and wave your flag. Wave your flag.
Okay. So, I've been listening, especially to trauma. You see, unhealed wounds or trauma, what you may call them. It starts from some of us, it starts from a very early age. And if sometimes those traumas are not dealt with before you go into a relationship, then you're going to accept anything that a person brings to you. Right? For instance, Shanique's friend, the reason why she may have took up that young man, without even looking at the fact that, he doesn't work, he's working the bare minimum, is because of loneliness, and she doesn't value herself above, what, she just look at herself as being, me not get nobody else, I deserve this. So if you don't value, and value is so important, so important in your relationship with your spouse, with your friends.
You're definitely right, Lati.
Because
you're definitely right.
If you don't value yourself, you will always settle. You will always think you don't deserve. And
let me show you the flip side. Let me show you the flip side of the trauma now, Lati. Sometimes the trauma goes right to my next point, narcissism.
Yes.
The trauma makes you a narcissist, in which you're not the victim anymore. You're more like the aggressor in the relationship.
Yes. I had a friend.
Sorry about that.
I had a friend, and it was way past the Yamid syndrome. Like, the man was so narcissistic that she was blinded by him. That man she would come to work with 4 kids. First of all, he stalked her with 4 kids. He stalked her with 4 kids. He went through so many cars, yet she didn't have a driver's license. She came to work and worked 5 days per week, and if overtime was given, she would take it, and that man would be home sleeping. And when I said to her, you can't do this, you're so beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
Watch this. You're like one of my next point. Codependency.
Yeah.
The man got through so much car and she not have a driver's license. You know why? She's now codependent on him. Anywhere she needs to go,
on her.
She has to depend on him.
Zane, I like the fact that you touched the whole point of codependency too, and I'm going to bring it way down in Jamaican terms. You see,
I'm bringing it fast and quick.
You see when you go into a relationship and you realize that your partner born hand way, and them hand come out first, meaning them beg, them are born beggars. Them not do nothing for themselves. And this goes for both men and women. You have some women who from a relationship, from the first date, they like they'll do. From the first date, they don't know where they rent money come from.
All right, that's so.
From the first date, I must say, boy, I'm from when me hear not do.
But Lana, Shanine, you talk about first date, you talk about first introduction. They get credit, no?
They get credit.
That's a red flag.
You have men who are the same way. You have men who are the same way. Boy, babes, you know, say me tire one this, or boy, babes, you know, say this, so and so. The people them were born unaware. From when I realize that unaware them come out,
run
the next way.
And just to add to what earlier when I asked the question about I thought the lady was the one who lived in the basement and had the 2 kids. But it was I was gonna make a point based on her having probably some internal issues causing her to go after a man like that. Because if you can see the red flags, but yet you still stay or you still pursue it, right? Probably I said I was going to go to the point of probably loneliness. Because a lot of persons, and we discussed it recently, a lot of persons, they enter into abusive relationships because they're lonely or they feel they can't find nobody else and so on. And they feel that they have to stay and endure it, but they're not realizing the damage that it's doing to them. You know what I mean? And same with the men. A lot of men who are controlling is the same thing. They are themselves are lonely.
But you know what happened? This guy came in as a charmer because I'm very observant with certain things. I felt something was off about him, and I'm going to tell you how I picked up on it. He came in as a charmer, you know, the perfect gentleman, get car door. I remember being there and I had a sonogram. I had nobody to drive me that particular day because normally she would have driven me to the appointment, but she was not doing a day shift. So he said, okay. As we saw, you're calling me John. He said, John can take you because he doesn't work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I said, okay, no problem. You know, Florida, everybody have to drive. When he brought me to the appointment, he was insisting why my child dad was not there. I'm thinking to myself, you know, this kind of personal. The man really I get furious, you know. Oh, he should have been there. You don't know what my relationship challenges is. So why are you gonna come off that way? After the appointment, when I got the pictures, like he was demanding me in a sense to send pictures to him. I said no. It's my personal decision. I'm not sending anything. So I started picking up. I said to her, I said, you think your boyfriend have an issue with being in control? She said no. I say, you don't pick up anything where he likes having power? She said no. I said, okay, it's fine.
Jen,
you know?
Never cut your story because you hear what you say? He was like demanding and getting angry, asking where the baby father is. He know where he was. He was in bed sleeping, and then I'm going to tell you guys about my personal red flags, but me never recognized until I gave birth.
All right,
me take them like skipping rope.
The fact he got angry brings me to the anger management issue and the inability to resolve conflict. Sometimes, you know, the littlest thing, when you see the littlest thing trigger off your partner or the person you date, big red flag, especially if they can't resolve the situation in a given time. Big red flag.
I agree, and I picked up on that.
Yeah, man. But Shen, I want to hear your personal business still, so go on.
No, I believe there is nothing to hide. But let me just wrap up with him now. I started getting really upset now, you know. But in my mind, I'm like, let me just keep my cool because I don't want him to leave me a road. I need to get back to the house. You get me? He made a statement to me. So, for example, like you then say, Jermaine, make it get with an arm and a leg because it seemed like you wear the pants in the relationship. Don't mind Jermaine, I'm just using me as an example. So in my mind, I'm like, how would they hell this man know about me? You know, just meet me a couple of weeks ago. So how are you gonna draw those assumptions? But for me with my red flags, no, I totally ignore them. I don't regret my baby. I love my child more than anything, but this was what we women need to stop doing. We need to come out of the repair business and think we can fix every man. When I met my partner, we were friends for years, very good friends. And this is a young man who take almost 2 years I plead, oh, Shen, make we date. Because when we met, he was living with his girlfriend. So, you know, it was not more than a friendship. I had no interest there. After the breakup, I was there, you know, as a friend, being a good friend. And we started dating like maybe almost 2 years after. I outlined my expectations. You know, there are certain things that I would not tolerate. But I compromised way too much with him. Because I was coming out of my first relationship, which was 7 years. That was my only love. So I'm an experience out there per se. I don't know, you know, what it is like to look for in guys because I just had like one high school love. It cut off and then I ended up with this dude. So going on to the red flags now, I went ahead and, you know, I stated what I would not tolerate. And he agreed, okay, well, we can do this, we can do that. And I compromised everything. And I was like, oh, I'm going to come around, oh, I'm going to change, oh, I'm with this, oh, I'm with that. This man was well, Lati can't tell you because when I hide my business and Lati, if you want to even chip in with some of me share, that is fine. Lati can't tell
okay, go ahead.
Me call Lati phone and cry many days. Mr. Lati, what me I go wrong? One time when me swear we break up and Lati was like, Shen, you need to stop this, you need to stop compromise, you can't allow this man to get away with so much. Me still go take him out back. motherfucker came up back, meeting up with a child. And up until this day, if he knows how a pair of socks was bought for my baby, I would be lying. This man prioritized his vehicle. That was the biggest red flags I should have seen. The vehicle come first. It car wash like maybe every 3 times a day. Me not exaggerate. If him go out there and it's splash up, him go wash it. And if me ask for something, I go tell him, say, oh, I need to wash my car first. I need to put this in the car sound first before I can do this for you. That was the first red flag and me ignore it.
So you saw all of that and still a hope.
I said, me tell them make a skipping rope because I'm thinking he's going to come around. You know, he's going to change.
You know why? Sorry for cutting you off.
I don't.
It's the Superman syndrome. We feel like we can save everybody, and just go for man. You go for women as well.
You know, she never touch on me. You know, we're patient enough, and we play the long game and wait.
Come on.
And then that long game put we in some shit.
But you know, quickly though, the Superman syndrome stems from an issue the men have when it comes to rejection.
Men and women.
No man, in the male context. A lot of men who you see are like this with the Superman syndrome. They don't want the woman to leave because they feel they fear the rejection. So they do everything for the woman so that the woman will feel dependent on them and stay.
But excuse me, isn't that narcissism though? And that means we have a lot of narcissists in worldwide because all of this is stemming from broken homes, leading to narcissism. Because if you go ahead,
Ryan, the Superman syndrome, you know, and when the person, you know, feel like say, no matter what, she can't save the person. And we come around and can save the relationship.
Yeah, but the context of Superman syndrome where you do everything for the person. You go all out and go overboard.
In trying to save them. Because
I don't think it's a case where Shen was trying to save anyone. I just think it's a case where Shen was also hoping he can come around.
Gentlemen, really, for the men on here, I need to really help me to understand this part because I still don't know.
Okay.
It will get really bad, right? Things will get really bad, and you know, when you realize that I'm leaving, I'm on the verge of leaving, you come around and you do the things that I was always expecting. And then when we could again, you're gone back to square one. Again. Why?
Yeah, man, just do it for 2 weeks. And then...
Well, I know, Jeremy. You see, every man I go give them input on this, and then we have a wrap up. Because you don't know where
before you give your input, because I would like to say something.
Go through Latin.
You know, Shanique may think she is weak, which she's far from that. Shanique is so strong and determined, and when she put on her foot, and that is something that I tell her every day, something I admire about you. Regardless of how you went back so many times, you still never keep up with BS. The fact is, I came out of a 3 years relationship where this guy was in and out of work. He was unable to keep a job. We fight, we cuss, we go on. It was so, oh my God, a worst thing for me. The last thing was that when I was at work, this young lady called his ex-girlfriend. That was a big red flag because she always kept calling me over the 3 years that we were together. And, you know, she suddenly turned Christian and she got married. He said, I wanted to apologize. I said, why? And I remember her coming to fight over him like 6 months after we started talking. And he pleaded and he said, no, I'm not there with her, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, about 3 years, fast forward to 3 years after, she called me and she was like, oh, I want to apologize. And I said, why did you come at that time to fight with him? She said, me and him never left, you know. And she said, let me tell you something, everywhere you go, everywhere you live, me know. Every time I go to work, remember I work from 7 to 11 in the night, you know. And this guy have this girl on my bed. I bought everything there. I bought everything there. When I confronted him about it, he drew a knife after me and hold me up to hold the knife, and while me and hold the knife, me open the door and run because I'm necking dog go to me him go to, and
but
after
him
that
sick.
Oh my God, he go to that and he come down. I ran out of the house and I go down and my friend. And he come down there and he said, Latoya, please don't left me. And he start mark up himself with the knife. Me, as much as how me orphaned, I've never been through a situation like, and that was a lesson I learned. Let me tell you something.
Inability to resolve conflict.
Listen, you see, because
I think that got deep.
I observe everything before I move into a relationship. When you're at work, if you're willing to help me, you're mad, you need to evaluate. Because of that, I psychoanalyze everything before I move on to the next with you. And me kind of pick up from this. So come here and say, in my bed.
No, that's a big disrespect.
Trust me, it was too much. I understand.
You know what happened, Lati? You know the reality behind it, speaking from my perspective. From what I've been through, because I've only really had 2 relationships. My first love, which was 7 years, and this one now, who's my child's father. When I look into it now, and then I look at my daughter sleeping, and I look at the innocence, I have this fear where I cannot see myself in another relationship. I cannot. Because now I'm thinking, if me couldn't pick up the red flags. No, if I couldn't pick up the red flags for myself, I know I have a human being to protect who's depending on me. You know, how will I pick up the red flags in the next person? Because there's some crazy people out there. You have to be careful who you have when your child.
You have to think about your child first. When you look for a relationship now in Shen, you have to consider your child. What are his intentions? Is he coming to help? That's you and him coming together to build a family, or is he coming just to get in a bedroom, take advantage of your pitney? You have to really think.
And that is why I can't see myself in another relationship. Maybe because I'm still broken, but I just can't imagine it because I know I cannot pick up on red flags. That is not my thing.
It will happen eventually in a Shen, but there's a topic we want to discuss eventually. I'm going to love to have you work on the podcast. You know,
no problem, I'll just get her to see it like now.
Yeah, man. Co-parenting, can it really work? But, you know, we talk about all of the red flags them. Maybe the next time we have to talk about how we can handle the red flags. Because right now.
But you shouldn't handle a red flag.
Yeah, man.
A red flag.
A whole heap of things that you can use to handle a red flag.
Handle?
Whole heap of things. Yeah, man.
When I see you run.
Yes, I fully agree with Ryan. When I see it run.
Running
that means you're going to run away from everything. Everybody has red flags.
Exactly.
No.
Running can be away from handling as well.
No.
If you talk to a significant other and their situation where you can get over it and move past, I wouldn't deem it as red flag. I would just deem it as a situation where we can sit and talk with my partner and move past it.
But
red flag
is something beyond
where me attack this person and me suggest something to her and she want to fight me. That a red flag. Me I get the hell out. Me not understand and how we gonna move past.
Where
maybe you say something with touch a spot. You understand?
Regardless.
Maybe the person have trauma we don't know about.
No, regardless of what trauma you have, regardless of what happened in your past. From you put your hand on me and Brian, I'm out. I'm not sticking around a second time.
Listen, for a short moment, listen. I have a lot of trauma. I've gone through a lot. And it takes a really strong and understanding person to really deal with me because of my trauma, because the traumas I've been through. So I would say, if I was on the other side, I would have said them a red flag and run. You understand?
The thing is not.
All right, so where me I come from,
that's a cut, but one of the Pinto. The thing is, they did the first thing. In steps of getting healing, you acknowledge it. In acknowledging it, you identified. So from identified, you can deal with it. In identifying it, you can communicate with the partner to say, hey.
Takes time.
No, I'm not saying no.
So, and that we are looking
I'm not saying no. So you did good there. You understand what I mean? There are persons now, as I mentioned earlier, pride. So because of them pride, them not acknowledge, say, hey, I have trauma from past relationships, from past life experiences, it's causing me to be this way. I acknowledge that it's not good, but guess what? I'm going to work on it. There are some people, them go through it and then the business. There are some stay and there are some that live. In case like that, you have to run.
Them one day run.
There's not that a willingness to change. But when you can acknowledge and say, yeah, guess what? You know, I'm not perfect and I know I need the help. Then that's different.
But what are those situations, Ryan? Because like I said, you know, from the moment you, even though I'm a man, you know, from the moment you put your hand on me, you know,
I got you
gone through the door, you know.
That's a deal breaker for me. Don't you dare put your hands on me. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, man.
Once you do it once, you do it again.
Exactly. And who tell that when you lick me, I lick you back, and my lick back just make you flat or wrong. You don't want to go prison.
You might not wake up back.
You might get the autograph.
from Jah Cure.
Yes, no man. But yo, people, we have things to do and places to be, you know, so we have to bring home the bacon. So, you know, again, thank you to Shen, Lati, Shanine. It was a pleasure as usual. And maybe next week we can look on how we can approach some of the red flag them. And hopefully
I need to be there.
Yeah, hopefully we can have them back on the podcast. But you don't know, Azine, one of the best, Ryan, big mouth.
You don't know, big up on yourself, you know.
Well, I definitely applaud the ladies for coming on and sharing some of these stories. And Shen, you're a very strong woman. I'm gonna tell you that
best to be.
Behind closed door, because you're someone I definitely look up to. Cause you're a go-getter.
Aww.
And that guy, I just his last that. Make him marry him, Kiar.
Vroom.
You know, somebody said the exact words to me today.
Yeah, man. And
ironically, Jeremy, you know me personally and let's know me personally. The rest of persons on here, I know Ryan just don't you know, remember.
No, man, we know your man. We know your man.
Okay.
So I always say for my campus, little and neat, man.
My mom thought all this time, you know, I was the issue because as Lati said, regardless, me not take the bullshit. You know, me might hope he was changing, but me not take the bullshit or the disrespect. My mom thought I was the issue. And today, she said he called her. And so when he called her, like, you know, he might ask how to work XYZ because he's overseas working as well. My mom may say, you know, what hurt me. And when him say, oh, I'm alone, me I focus to pay up the car loan. Mama say he didn't ask how was me. He didn't ask how was the baby. So mommy says, so all this time you're back and forth. I go to the States, I shop. You were the person funding your trip. So I said, yes. So she said, everything for the baby, furniture will make everything, car seat will buy. That was you. I said, yes, it was. She thought he was involved.
Yeah, go put car seat in a man car. But you're right.
No, in my vehicle. I bought two actually. One for me and one for mommy car.
So what to the man?
Big up yourself, Shen.
Just keep being strong. Lati, keep being a great friend. And you're a strong one as well.
I appreciate her so much.
If you can come out of that ordeal where a guy cut up himself with a knife, boy. That crazy.
LA Lewis.
We have thank God for that one there.
Yes, man.
Many situations like that don't come out to
exactly.
That positive outcome.
And definitely big up Jamila. Today is her special day as well. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Jamila.
Yeah, we're waiting on our cake.
Another birthday. Blessed Earth Strong.
All right, Brian. Blessed Earth Strong.